Lawmakers met in Indianapolis today for the first day of the special session. Among the topics to be discussed is restrictions on abortion in the light of the recent Supreme Court decision overruling Roe v. Wade.
Nicole Christine joins us live from outside the State House with an overview of the first day of this session. Nicole.
Well, Mike and Dana, while there is more than one piece of legislation going through the State House during this special session, Senate Bill 1 regarding abortion in the state of Indiana, certainly the one that's bringing the most passion and protest to the State House. Speaking of that passion, during the testimonies in the Senate this afternoon, you could actually feel the floor shaking a little bit from some of the chanting and the stomping that was going on outside, and that was actually from both sides of the argument. We spoke to two different people who were set up to testify to the Senate. They are from both sides of the argument. We also spoke to a local representative who will eventually be asked to vote on a version of this bill. The halls of the Indiana State House in Indianapolis were ringing Monday during the first day of the 2022 legislative special session. Most of those in the sea of protesters were speaking out either in favor of or opposition to Senate Bill 1, which would ban abortion in the Hoosier State with a few exceptions. Rebecca Rudolph was one of nearly 300 people set to testify in front of the state Senate regarding the bill. Her argument, abortion should not be a legal matter.
Oh, it's just so jarring to see because, you know, I grew up understanding separation of church and state. My family, they are Christians themselves, and we still were taught separation of church and state.
James Farrar was also signed up to testify before the Senate. He said his issues with the legislation stem from concern over the lack of criminalization, along with some of the bill's current exceptions.
So it has a rape exclusion, which really there's no reason why we should include that. Why we should punish the child for the crime that his father committed.
When asked what they'd like to see come out of the special session, Farrar and Rudolph had the following to say.
I would love to see it in this special session that abortion in Indiana would be brought to an end, that it would be abolished.
Obviously, I would like to see government completely and totally out of a person's medical decisions. I don't think people really truly understand when we're opening up that gate of allowing the right to medical privacy to go away.
The House will receive the bill following the Senate, and Representative Alan Morrison says he has no clear idea of what the final bill will say.
Speaker Houston said something very poignant from the microphone here this morning, and he said that he's got friends on both sides of this issue, and even on both sides there's different places on the spectrum, and if you don't have friends on both sides of the issue, you need to meet more people, right? We'll see where that bill ends up. I highly doubt that it's going to end up where it starts, and I don't know which way it's going to go.
And the one thing missing from our coverage today, a sighting of the Vice President, Kamala Harris, was in Indianapolis today. She had a closed roundtable discussion with House Democrats about Senate Bill 1, of course, that abortion bill that this story has been about. And the next few weeks going to be centered around this bill as well as the other legislation. We'll continue to follow that for you. Reporting live in Indianapolis, I'm Nicole Christine. Back to you guys in the studio.